Hiya. How is everybody? Hi Skippers, thank you. Hi Mal, how you doing? So hello Don. Don Roach, how are you? So excuse the reflection, and I'm on a different phone. So I'm in the process of moving everything around. So these shrimp are on the right side of the room as you walk in, and they're temporarily on the left side. James, I'll give you a walk round in a minute. So the rack behind me is currently 70% empty. Let me flip the I don't know if you can flip the camera mid live. So the plan is to get a couple of Galaxy tanks going, and then I can start selecting and culling out and stuff. This is an Honor phone. I normally use a Samsung, but the Honor phone, although the camera's not as good, really picks up the pink-orange genetic. Excuse me. So in my post, I think if you can hear water in the background, it's because I'm pumping water into tanks. I'm currently moving stuff around, and the light's rubbish across these. So these are actually on the other side of the room for now. So I've started moving stuff over onto the new rack. Let me flip the camera. The rack behind me is almost empty, but these two tanks are going back over there. But the rack's so tight, in order to move stuff out. Hi Johnny. In order to move tanks out that I wanted off that rack, you have to remove the shelf above it to get them out. So that's sort of part of the process. I need to I've moved 1, 2, 3, 4 tanks today, and tomorrow I need to move this one and my PRL tank back. But I've collected the water and reused the same water for them. I am doing a water change as part of that process, but I'm going to get to the point where I've got 2 Galaxy tanks next to each other, and when I've got them next to each other, it's quite easy then to start sort of separating them out and trying to work out if that's reflection on the camera or dirty glass. This tank will eventually go, the one they're in at the moment, this low boy. So I've got another couple of tanks sort of earmarked. I think the glass is dirty. I did give it a quick clean before I come on a live. What's that just fell over? And the light above this at the moment, it's a temporary light, it's a bit faulty. Easiest Caradina. They're all pretty easy if you get your water right. A good starter, if you want something that's quite forgiving, is that they look a little bit like Neos. Bear with me, let me Alexa, turn on right rack.
Okay.
Let me quickly let's take this out of the holder a second. So these guys are called Bloodshot. So they're like camera's not very good on this phone. They're like They're like an orange with red markings on them. Alexa, switch off right rack.
Okay.
So I'm not on my normal phone. Hi Rye, how are you? I need to get a notepad and start writing names down, because I've obviously hit 1k. I need to get some hours on the clock, and what I'd said was that I'll do a few lives and then I'll do a giveaway. I'll sort of do a few weeks worth of lives and then I'll do a giveaway, and everyone that's been on the lives, I'll enter into the draw. Wherever you are, probably be some GB merch, t-shirts, something like that, of your choice. I need to, just because it's easier to ship internationally. But yeah, as I say, they're all pretty easy if you get your water right, and it is, you know, it's a case of getting your water right. But those are pretty easy. Those they breed for fun. So tomorrow I've got to do a little bit of wiring on this rack, a couple of lights in. I don't know whether to buy some more lights and wait for those, but I'm not in a rush to move stuff, but I like to get things done. I do like to get things done. And it's about absolute killed me today, just trying to, I've moving tanks with livestock in them. So although you empty sort of 90%, they're still heavy, and they're super heavy if you've got a bad back. Thanks, Rye. Yeah, I'm good. Meat pie sausage roll. How you doing, Rob? Let me go and grab a pen and some paper so I can make a note of who's on the lives, and I'll enter you all into a draw, and we'll do a live draw once I'm ready. Let me I'll be back in a second. Just gonna go and grab a pen and some paper. I'm back. I need to find something to lean on now. Lean on the tank. Oh, gotta watch I don't trip over everything. So we've got Rob. Right. What's beeping in there? Something's beeping behind me, it's doing maybe. I don't know what it is. So somebody's pressing a button. Two seconds, guys. Right, sorry. Every time I turn around, I hear it. I know what it is. I know what it is. Keep knocking. I I keep knocking the USB port for the spray system in one of the frog tanks, so I think I've flooded them. Sorry guys, I'm miles away there. So we've got Rob Brook, Ry Ramsey, Shrimp Factory, Bike Shed Aquatics. So guys, I'm just making a note of who's in here. I can't tell you, James. I'd have to kill you. Johnny Best. Aquarium Delirium. Skippers. And Dom Roach. Right, more caught up. The much appreciated, Johnny. So just answering a question, James from Shrimp Factory. The food that I've dropped, all I'm going to say is the food that I've dropped in, I've had for absolutely ages, and I don't use it because when you use it, the room stinks of like broccoli. So that might give you an idea, and I'm not advertising it because I don't sell it. So yeah, that food. I'm trying to clear a frog in my throat. It hasn't come out of the tank, it's just let me see if I can move this chair out of the way a second. Tell you what, I'll unplug it, as soon as you have it. Got it. Garlic bass layer. This stuff's nasty, but it's an old school food, been around a long time, and it absolutely stinks. So can't you tell I've got a night crew light on here? Flashes. But yeah, I'll give you a little. The room is an absolute tip at the moment, but I can probably go through it and tell you the plans and stuff like that. So I think this there's a couple of shrimp need to come out of this tank. I've already spotted. Oh, there's probably more than a couple, to be honest. I've already spotted a bolt. I've already spotted a red, and I always take my reds out as well. Hi Discus North, how you doing? I've not smelt the Basilier stuff. Thank you very much. It's it was it was 2.5 years and 350 videos in the making, but we got there in the end. I just need to bang some arrows on there to get the other side of it. So let's give you. I say this isn't the best camera. It's a different phone. Yeah, it's a mountain. For our niche, it is. You know, it's the community is not massive, but let me show you what I'm doing. Oh, if I can get up. So, like I said, room's a tip at the moment. The so I've obviously got tubs here that are going to go. Tubs are going to go, but the plan is then that these three tanks are coming out. I'm gonna move the frogs down one level and leave the top open for now, because the plan is to have a big terrarium there at some point. So I'm sort of just making room for that. I've temporarily moved these two low boys, but those two low boys will be going over here because the tanks that were there are now on the bottom row over there, and then these two will be going up here. So one of my racks is sort of, it's not disappearing, but it's not going to have shrimp on it. And the idea will be that I'll have two low boys here, and the two low boys will both be with galaxies, and it will just give me a great opportunity to sit at that height and net stuff out. I do have one slight problem, and the slight problem is that I've never done really good with PRL. I don't know why. If I don't do any good with these last 9 that are in there, they're going in the mix tank, and I'll use that for my galaxies. So the bottom row here will be 4 Neo tanks. There's going to be 2 20 gallons going on here, fish, and then in that middle section and the top section there's going to be 6 50-litre fish tanks. So the one here will be a display. They are going to be side on, but I want them side on so that when you walk into the room you get 2 views of the tank. Obviously not that tank, it's a 90-litre. So that's the plans, but the hard bit is moving stuff, and as I said, I have to remove the shelf above to get the tanks out because they are so tight in there. You just don't get any room to move them. So that's sort of the plan. That's what I've been up to, and that's what I'm trying to get done. And I've got some additional electrics in, so we come in with the electric. So off the ring we pulled the feed out from there, so we had a tail, and then we run another feed across there and down, so it goes down into those across them all and back into the ring main. But tomorrow I need to get lights. I need to take some lights off the rack where the frogs are and fit them onto the bottom row of here, which is going to be a pain because I should have done that before I put the tank on this side. And musical aquariums, yeah. Rob, I've never been able to keep them. I've tried PRL on every soil, loads of it. I've done everything. The best I've done with them is in a breeder box. So I had 6 left, put them in a breeder box, they bred. I ended up with 50. I'm down to 9 again. I just cannot keep them. I can keep pandas, no problem, but PRL struggle with, and I did with PBL as well. How many tanks in total? So at the moment I think there was 12, 6, 18, 22, 24. So I had 24 and 3 tubs. There are a couple of tanks in the house. One of those is coming in here. So one of the 20 gallons from the house is coming in here, and I'll end up with 18, 20, 22, 30. So 30 tanks I'll end up with in here, and then obviously we've got one in the living room. I hate this Nicrew light. I wonder if it's just the power supply to it, or if it's the light itself. Could try it on another power supply, couldn't I? I'd like one of the I mean that's not going to go here. I do need a light for the very top shelf. The converter in the light itself. That wouldn't surprise me. Discus North make up excuses. I'll have a look, Bob. I'll have a look, Rob. Can you turn the blue off? They're going to be, let me see if I can get my foot past this without killing it. They're going to be, a pisto tanks up there. So pisto breeding tanks. But the 3 bottom tanks that I showed you, one of them I've redone and the jades have gone in. One of them's got the fire reds in. The one that isn't lit, I'm just filling up, but I'll empty it tomorrow. So I'm moving. All my Neos are on tap water. So I've done nothing other than tap water with the Neos. I've done what you says, Rob. When you says why don't you just put them on tap water, because the Neos. So it makes life so much easier doing them on tap water. But moving the Carradina around's been hard because I've had to save the water. Well, I haven't had to, but I have. It's not going to do me any favours if I don't save the water. So yeah, I think once I've got this finished and everything's sort of where I need it, I'm going to have a big clear out, and as part of that clear out, I'll get the plumber in to finish the plumbing off in here. So I've got drainage. Do have drainage. I'm going to put a little board between the rack and the worktop. It's a pity when we did the worktop I didn't do it all the way across, because that would have been a nice area for a plant or something. But I'm going to do a board. You did every tank. Mental. I mean, I haven't even filled these up. Look. So I've just took them to about 15% out. So when I've got to move them again tomorrow. So it'll be a big water change when I move them, but it's a water change. But I've got to completely, I've got to do my air pipe and everything up there. You might have had this, Rob, with the Jabau pumps. Have you ever had it where you've shut valves and the pump's been too powerful for what you've had going, and you've blew the pipe off the pump? So my caviar gnome, Rob. Yeah, so and one of the pumps is right behind a rack and it's really hard to get to. I was I was moving stuff and I was switching off air valves and it went. So it's still blowing. It's still blowing, but it's not the. I need to put the clip back on, but it blew itself off the pump. And I did it with this one as well. So I've yeah, Rob, look at this. So I've actually done my airline and I got clips for it. And because it's wood, you can screw the clips in. So I've clipped all my air piping clips. And it's so much tidier than cable ties. These are Galaxies, Carradina Galaxies. So I'm only on my I bought a cheap phone. You have to for TikTok shop you have to give a number for the shop, and I bought a cheap phone and a SIM, so I've got a business number. I should have done it ages ago, to be honest. I didn't want it. I had a load of random calls on my my personal phone when I first set up the TikTok shop, and thought can't be doing with that. And they can always leave me a message if it's important, like. So I bought a cheap phone, and this is it. And the battery on it compared to my Samsung is stunning. The plant is I don't know what type. Probably need to trim some leaves off it. That's a Bucephalandra. They're all Bucephalandra in here. So these are Buces. So these Buces, Rob gave me some little stems, some little offcuts, and they've come on quite well. So these were off you, Rob. You know the bag that you sent me all the bits in. That's them, or some of them. And then the one at the back, the big one, is Bucephalandra Kedagang. I've never really had a problem with Buce in. So these ones probably need the bottom leaves trimming and a dip in some hydrogen peroxide, because they've got a bit of blackbeard algae on them. Just give them a bit of a tidy up. But in soft water, I've never had a problem with Buce at all. They've gone and took that bit of food under there. I'll do I need to get back on the plants. Part of me building this new rack and moving stuff around was to give myself space to sort of try and expand a little bit and start getting plants in again. I mean, I'll only tub them. I'll have tubs with a filter and a bit of shrimp safe fertiliser on them, but I am going to start selling plants again. So those 4 bits of plant there, those 4 bits of Buce, knowing Rob, they're rare. So don't know the names of them, but say knowing Rob, they're rare. And them 4 bits on that bit of wood probably worth about 50 quid. Yeah, I know the rare Buce. To be honest, that bit of cholla actually isn't out of this tank. So that bit of cholla is out of, I moved, I've got a few, I'll show you actually. So I had, so that end tank down there, let's try and zoom that out. that end tank down there was a Carabiner tank, and I've turned it into a Neo Carabiner tank. But what I did was I scrubbed out this little 25 and literally just moved, there's only a few of them, but literally just moved these King Kong Extremes and the UGF box into this little tiny 25 litre. There's about 7 of them and a Panda, but you can tell I literally moved them yesterday, and they got quite a lot of cotton algae like that on them. So in that tank there was a rock with boots on and that bit of cholla, and I knew putting it in that Carabiner, that Galaxy tank, I knew they'd eat the algae. I think the other piece went in my mix tank, and likewise I knew that my mix tank would devour the algae. You seen that boost, Rob? That's one piece, that is. That was on you know them little gravel pads? That was on them one of them little resin pads. So Tropica are I've got the manager's number from Tropica, and I spoke to him at a convention, a trade show, and Tropica are in the process of setting up a warehouse in the UK. So it's sort of just in time plants. So it won't be all of their plants, but sort of the main sellers will always be available. So it may be that they're in the process of setting that up, and that might be why people are struggling to get plants. I like Tropica stuff, I really do. I am a fan. Trying to turn this a bit. So yeah, I'm definitely a fan of Tropica plants. That Kedagang at the back there, see that big on that rock, apart from the bits of subwasatang on there, that's all of that has grown from a 1-2 grow cup, the little cups. Yeah, the Galaxies bike shed, yeah. All of that's grown from a little 1-2 grow cup. I mean, admittedly, it's taken a few years to do it, but they were literally just stumps at one point. So I should sit here with the net and start pulling some scrap out, shouldn't I? Because that one needs to go in the mix tank. Yeah, I think they're looking to do some warehousing here of some. There'll be like a list of standard plants. How far with that process they've got, I don't know. So yeah, Galaxies they're called Galaxies because of their face spots. And then if they've got a fishbone, it's obviously a Galaxy fishbone. Let me grab a net. I've got a net to hand. But I really need to go through this colony and give it a good clear out. Find some decent stuff and keep the decent stuff going. I wanted it. That's why I'm sort of moving stuff around. I want 2 tanks. I want a high grade and a medium grade, and anything below that is going to go in the mixed tank. I'll just get rid and then hopefully over time my colonies will improve, because obviously the genetics are from the decent stuff. But I've just been concentrating on volume at the moment, so I've just seen a really nice, see if I can get him in. So this one, so that's a keeper if he'll come down to say hello. You want GH5. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's it. Sorry, I've read that wrong, but yeah, that's right. So 4 to 6 is the ideal parameters. I aim for 5, and if I set my TDS to 145, 150, I'll get 5 on the test. Yeah, look at that. Look at that beauty. So I'm trying to get a side view on it. Look at the face on that. How beautiful is that? And obviously it's got blue genetics in as well. But what I really like, and I'd love to sort of get a line of them going, if I can find him. I'll leave the net up there, see if I can find the one that I'm looking for. There's 2 in here like it, but there's one's really nice. It doesn't see this here's nice, not the one in front, it's the one at the back, but it hasn't got good face markings. I mean, the back line on it's absolutely stunning, proper nice blue metallics in it. Yeah, what I found, and Rob will probably back me up on this, what I found is that if you go down to 4, your whites in your white, any carradine with white in, the white tends to lose its whiteness. So if you aim for 5 or thereabouts, you tend to get better whites. That's a big old shrimp, that is. Where's he gone? See, this is a nice colour, but its face is rubbish. It's almost a gold. But the face spots aren't great on it. I like the colour. Big old shrimp as well. But there's a particular one that I'm looking for. See that's got a pink genetic, like a pink orange. It doesn't show brilliant on camera. It looks so. It's better on this phone than my Galaxy. But there's another that's got really strong. Can't see it. It's got a really strong sort of orange base, which is nice. Hi, Vicky. I hate this Nicrew light. I say it is temporary. I've moved these over here temporarily. They're going back onto the rack tomorrow. I'll give them a good clean before they go back over. There it is. See the orange on that? The smaller of the 2. And it's really vivid in person. This camera picks it up way better than my Galaxy, my Samsung does. I might have to invest. Yeah, do it. Pink base, orange base. I really like them. To be honest, if I was going to breed to that extent and sort of go through genetics, I personally think you need loads of tanks. So you'll need a tank of the line, then you'll need grow out tanks, then you'll need to cross back into that line. So just for sort of one line, you probably need half a dozen tanks, and I just haven't got the room. Well, I have if I concentrate on one type of shrimp. So tomorrow I'm going to the bit that's so tomorrow I'm going to move these two tanks back, alter the height of the neck shelf above it. I need to change my air feeds over that side of the room, because at the moment I've got an 85 litre per minute running two tanks and I need to swap that out with the 35 and get the two racks running on the 85, and then I've got a spare 35 as a spare. I've got to alter my air feeds. I need to go and buy I've got a bit of pipe. I suppose I could rethread. I suppose I could rethread it, revalve it, submission, just connecting everything up. But I'll need to put some lighting on this rack, and I wonder. I need to put some lighting on this rack, and then I've got to move two tanks off the frog rack. But in order to do that, I've got to move the frogs, and the frogs are heavy, like really heavy. So you wouldn't think it. I'll show you. You wouldn't think it, but these then have some weight in them. I'm probably going to need a hand, but they're 45 centimetre cubes. They're two different. It's the same company, but two different shapes. The it's going to jump off, but you might stay. There's 4 of those in there. It's just been spraying, but what's the weight? Where your weight comes from is the base layers, so the drainage layer and everything, and obviously there's a load of timber and stuff in there as well. There's another one up the back. He's gone. He's on top of that pod. Yeah, it's the height of them. I'll get my nipper to help me. These they're steamed up. It's just been misted. But these two are quite comical. But the plan is that once these tanks are gone, I'm going to move both of them down. So they'll actually, I'm going to sort of frame them. I'm going to sit them in a rack, and then the top. At some point, I'm going to put a big, massive terrarium up here, which is going to be 90 centimetres, 60 tall, 45 deep. If these two don't slide in, and I think they will, just looking at the edges, I think I'll just get them in. But if I'd have liked, is this a man anymore? I'd have liked to the same as this one, rather than the two different styles, just for my OCD more than anything. But I can probably always buy. I like the fact that you can just open the door. So you can tell the sprayers have just gone off because it's soaking. He'll jump out, so he likes to get out and about, he does. But yeah, I've got the lights off. Those are my other Galaxies. Alexa, switch on right rack. Alexa, switch on right rack.
Okay.
So these are my other Galaxies. So this was a little breeding project, and there's some nice backs on these. They're nice shrimp actually, but that's so I'll end up with 2 tanks, this one and another one of Galaxies, and then I can sort of start working my way through them. But these 2 are going to go on the top of there, and those 2 are going to go in there. But just looking at this one, you can't get them out without the tank above because of how tight they are into the rack. I mean, they're not up against it, but you've got no give at all. So in order to get these tanks out, I've got to take the row off above it, which is a blooming pain. But it is what it is. What I should do, I'm quite pleased with how this wood rack's turned out. What I should do really is get rid of the metal racks and create a nice big wooden one. But I'll give you a bit of a tour. So deep blue bolts, extreme King Kongs, orange eyed blue devils, this is I could empty this, to be honest. These are just mixed tigers, a little breeding project that I did. God, you can tell the difference in camera quality of this. Dragon bloods, pandas, fancy tigers, orange eye red devils, and we've got German spotted pinto, orange eye calcio, a mixed tank, and that's my Vingenetic red and blue steels. But these are nice. Oh, we've got some babies as well. Oh wow, there's loads of babies. Oh, that's nice to see. That's very nice to see. Carisha, do you know, I'm glad you've popped up. I was thinking about you the other day actually, thinking I haven't heard of Carisha for absolutely ages. I need to drop you a message. How you doing, buddy? I'm going to add you to the giveaway list, Carisha. I've added everybody who's been in the chat to it. I'm going to do a few. Yeah, I know. I've not been well. I keep saying it. I know I do, but an example is I've really grafted today and I've lifted some heavy stuff, and I'm feeling it now. I'm really feeling it in my back. I've got to do stuff tomorrow because it's not going to do itself. But I guarantee I'll wake up tomorrow and I won't be able to do anything, or I'll have a really bad night because I'm in so much pain because I've overdone it today. But it's not going to get done if I don't do it. So needs must, unfortunately. Are they at that food? Or are they still on it? I think they're still on it. I hate this Niagara light. I know why I didn't have it going there. Just kept it as a spare. Oh That's really not clear, is it? I don't know if the lens, I don't know if it's the glass or the lens. Let me just try and clean the lens on this phone a second. There we go. I think it's just the angle I've got it at. Sort of looking through the glass and refracting. So yeah, big changes to the room. All the dry goods stock that was in here has now gone into the house. So I've got a room with all my stocking in the house now. It's smaller than here, but I only used a portion of this anyway. I mean, worst case, tomorrow at least I can put some light. I can do some electrics. I can get some lighting in. I'm tempted to buy another couple of them lights, because I'm sure the ones I've got are 1 foot and I don't want 1 foot. What's the one like on the bottom there? These are small ones as well. See, that one looks like a big one. Sorry, I keep knocking the driver. Let me go and check something, because that would work, and then I only need to buy one. That's a 2 foot and a 3 foot. It's a shame. Although it's worked across them two, anyway. Yeah, I might get away with it. Or do I just bite the bullet and buy new ones? They're not there, they're only so I could nick them for now. trying to do things as quick and as economical as possible. So the lights that I use, I'll show you the lights that I use. You'll probably get a glare off them. I literally just use these office lights for my aquariums, because they're 6 to 6,500 Kelvin. At the moment, on the rack that I'm emptying, I've got 2 1 foot ones, but they need to go under here, so a 90 would be better. Although on this shelf I've got a 2 foot, so it's whether I'd get away with the 2 foot under here. It's whether I'd get away with the 2 foot under there and save myself having to buy one. They're about a tenner. They're not mad money, no, but it's waiting for them to come. That's the problem. I want to get stuff done now. I don't want to wait a week for them, you know what I mean? I'm waiting for the missus to go, I made you a cup of tea. And the other thing, if I had my water in here, I could have a drink. Definitely going to bring my RO unit indoors though, once the plumbing's done. You can do a bike shed, but what you need to think about is where do you put them afterwards? So I'm an advocate for telling people, start your Carradina journey with a mixed tank. So buy coals and have a mixed tank. And the benefit of a mixed tank, the benefit of having a mixed tank is that at some point you're going to want to take the ones, you're going to want to coal your own. So having that mix tank set up and ready to go gives you two things. It gives you a steep learning curve. So if you can keep really cheap ones, you stand a better chance of keeping more expensive ones. And when you do start keeping more expensive ones, you've got somewhere to put your coals. But just you know, if you haven't got room for one and you only want one type and you don't want to mix weak stuff with them, just start with a couple. Yeah, I always recommend, if people want to get into Carradina, start with a mix tank. You'll learn so much from that mix tank, and if you lose a few, people give them away. If you lose a few cheap shrimp, it's no big deal, is it? So I'm definitely an advocate for a mix tank. 100% I am. I'm gonna have to buy 3-foot lights for this, you know. 90 centimetre. I've got no choice. I'm gonna have to buy them. Oh well, I can always empty a tap. They're only gonna have tap water tanks, so I can always empty them, slide them out of the way, and do them again. I'm gonna go and order some when we're finished. I used to do that with my fishing tackle, you know. I had a new garage door put on with a small door inside the garage door, just so that when I come back from the fishing tackle shop, I could like open. I didn't have to come through the house. I could park on the drive and just throw a couple of new fishing rods in the garage before she saw them. I know exactly how that works. So something like that there, because of how nice and uniform the pattern is and the face markings on that, I'd class that as a high grade Galaxy. Some people would sell you that as a boa. That's not a boa. And you're probably looking around 15 to 20 quid. So I've never really put any, hi Rob, I've never really put any values on them yet, because I've not sold them. My plan was to sort of grow a big colony, then cull it down. So this one here, to me, that's a cull, and that is. So those would go in my mix tank. But that there and that there wouldn't. That's cheap, right? Though some sort of top end boas, you're looking at 800 quid each. See, that definitely needs to come out. Where's my net? Yeah. I mean, it's a shame about the face spots on that one, because the blue metallicing on that is stunning, man. But it hasn't got good face spots. Whereas this one that's just walked past us, half decent face spots, but backline's horrific on it. But the thing is, the ones that aren't, this is why I want to do a high and a medium grade, because your mediums will, because of the genetics, could throw out stunners. In fact, I've put stuff in the mix tank, and I've looked in my mix tank sometime later and thought, I wish I'd never took that out. But once it's gone in the mix tank, it's in the mix tank. I mean, just the colour. Let's see, look, just the colour of that. I mean, that's nice as well. But compared to some I've seen, they're rubbish. I'd love a tank full of 800 quid ones. The trouble is the market's not there in the UK. You know, you might sell one or two if you're lucky at that price. Used to remove the ring doorbell. Sneak tanks down the side. I love it. Switch the ring doorbell off. The motion detector, get off. Log on to the app. So yeah, I've got a lot of work to do over the next few weeks. A lot of work. And I'm currently soaking some. I'll give you a clue at what I'm building. So I'm currently soaking some that is the colour of that water. So I'm doing a black water, and I'm preparing myself some black water so that my when my black, I mean, it'll be diluted because it's a 90 litre, and that's not 90 litres of oh, Rob, and I haven't had any peach boas. Yeah, I'm going to use the water as well. So I want it to be really tea stained, the water. So I've been cooking that for about I mean, there's going to be some biofilm in there, but I've been cooking that for weeks. I've got to get that shrimp out. It's really annoying me. That's how you catch them. Let me just move this shrimp. Go and get some new family. So another good thing about lives is because you tend to zoom into your shrimp. They're easy to pick out when you spot some rubbish. Whereas I don't sit watching them enough. This one can go. Come on. Cool. Alexa, switch off right rack.
Okay.
Just trying to get rid of some of the reflection. I bet you got some brown water off that, Rob. God, I've got loads to do, man. Why did I start building another rack? Thanks, Mario. I do need some work, but there's some nice shrimp in there. Yeah, spotted another one. Where's that goal gone? Come on, Colt. So these are on, I'm using a few different soils. So these are on SL Aqua, more nature black soil. And they're probably coming up to, I am going to move them soon, but a lot of my others, so there's 3 soils that I really like, 4 actually. So SL Aqua I like because of how dark it is. It gives a slightly higher pH, probably 5.8, 5.9, but my Galaxies have done really well on it. Environment obviously gives a better one, but it's lighter in colour. And then the other couple that I'm using are, Aqua Vitro, Aqua Solon, and I quite like, I've only got 1 bag of it, but you can only get it in 3 litre bags. So this is this soil's from Aquael. I really like that. So it's advanced shrimp soil. Aquael Help Advanced Shrimp Soil. But it only comes in 3 litres. It is a Japanese, it's made in Japan, but it's distributed by Aquael, and that's reasonably dark as well. But it only comes in 3 litre bags, and that's pretty much all the soils I'm using at the moment. But what I am going to move these, and I'm probably, they've done really well on the SL, but it lasts about a year. It's been discontinued everywhere, Mario. So what's a good soil in the States is Brightwell. Have a look at Brightwell soil. I know that what's he called? Swears by a big shrimp breeder in the US. What are they called? Rob, who's the big shrimp breeder in? I think it might be Brightwell, but their soil. Brightwell Aquatics. They do a soil. Never used it. I know people that do. I've never used it because I've spoken to people who reckon after a while it really turns to mush with fluval stratum. Yeah, see the SL Aqua buffer's just under 6, sort of 5.8, 5.9. It starts off at 6 and drops. But I mean this tank's, I've got a really thin layer, and all I'm using, so I'll move this tank today just to do something, and it's going to go back. But all I'm using is Matten filters, and it's 45 centimetre, so it's 2 foot square, the floor space, 2 foot square and a foot high, so 2 foot by 2 foot by 1 foot tall. Yeah, gold's done. If you want a low pH, see if you can get glass garden environment soil. But we can get Brightwell here. You know, and you're trying to pick a shrimp out and loads of them get in the net. Yeah, it's pale. It's a pale soil. Um, it's not as dark as the SL Aqua. It's quite light, and it's sort of it looks bitty, like you've got see all the bits in it where it's been fired. But if you can sort of get, you know, if you can get over the fact that it's got loads of like bits of broken clay and stuff in it, it lasts ages and it buffers low. So that'll buffer at least 5.5, if not lower. Thank you. Thank you. I did a video yesterday, and I shot it all on the $7,500 phone. Shot and edited it all on there just as a trial. I normally I've got proper recording equipment. I've got DSLR cameras. I've got DJI kit, but I just find it so much easier if I'm in the room just to pick up my phone, plug in a mic, and record stuff on my phone. It's just easy. I normally use the Samsung Galaxy, and so I tried this cheap phone yesterday. I did a whole video on it. So it's not a beginner's guide, but it's like my first shrimp tank. It's me just setting up a Neo Caridina tank and making a bit of a scape on it and putting some green jades in it. But it was I completely shot it all on. This is the phone I'm using now, actually, because my Galaxy battery is absolutely rubbish. It is an Honor phone, yeah. That's what I'm using now, right? Yeah, this is an Honor 90. I think it was 75 quid on Amazon. And it's all right. It does a job, you know. The picture quality is not as good as the Samsung Galaxy, but the color rendering is better on the Honor than the Galaxy. So you get a more truer color rendition on the Honor than you do on the Galaxy. And I literally bought it just as a business phone because I set TikTok Shop up. You had to have a contact number, and I didn't really want them doing, you know, my phone being rung from TikTok Shop people. So I bought a cheap phone and got a gift gaff SIM for it. Put a tenner on. I'll run that tenner for 6 months and then put another tenner on it. The only thing I can't sort of get my head around with it is if I'm surfing the internet, if I'm on Chrome, there's no back button. So it sort of, you swipe it and it disappears and there's no back button, and it frustrates me. I end up sort of closing a page and opening another page. You can't sort of go forwards and backwards whereas you can on the Samsung. But I've got an idea for a video, and I'm going to shoot a video and use 4 different filming things. So I'm going to use the DJI Pocket. I'm going to use the Honor phone, the Samsung phone, and my Canon DSLR camera, and just to see. I'll actually shoot 4 bits, and the video will be totally about, I'm shooting this doing 4, using 4 different methods, just to see what each one's like and get feedback. If I'm honest, I think I know which will win it. I think I'll go and get it actually. I think the DJI, it's the original. It's the original. It might be the Pocket 2 actually. It's not the latest one. I've had it ages. It does shoot really nice video. The only thing I'm not keen on with it is if I use the DJI mic, it picks up interference in this room from something. But it's a nice mic. It sort of automatically noise suppresses. This thing. So I think that'll come out heads and shoulders above everything else. Can't remember how to turn it round. Been so long since I've used it. There you go. So I think that'll give me a much better picture. It might be that when I've got it plugged in, I connect it to my phone so I can see what I'm filming. So I'll connect it remotely to the phone, and it might be that because I've got that done, that's why it's getting interfered with, and I probably should just leave it. The newer one's got a much bigger display. Yeah, I think the DJI will win hands down. It's shooting 2.7K, even on this one, and I think it'll win hands down. I really do. But let's do the video. So the mic's nice. The mic is nice. So that's the mic. Looks like someone I went to school with. It's the Osmo Pocket. Yeah, it's the Osmo Pocket. You can take the thing off. What? It rattles, but I dropped it. So there's something in it that rattles, but I don't think you can open them. Don't think you can take them apart. Probably needs charging. I think I've left it on. But I should use it really, because it's good kit. It is good kit, and I should use it. Oh, I mean my DSLR is an older camera. It's I think it's a 60D, Canon 60D or something. But ideally, I think what I need is like a bridge camera. I need a bridge camera and a nice gimbal to sit the bridge camera on. But I like to see what I'm filming, and that's what's so good about the phone. You've actually got the screen right in front of you, and the camera's on the front of it. But right, I'm going to wrap up there, guys, and have a bit of a tidy up in here. I'm going to go and take some painkillers from my back. Appreciate you all being here. I'm probably going to do a couple of weeks for a few weeks, but I'll put my nice phone on tomorrow, and I'll get it charged up, and I'll have the lights off in the room, and you won't get all the reflection behind and stuff. So yeah, the new DJI Pocket 3, really like the screen's sort of 2-inch. It flips sideways. I do like the